everyone, welcome to this class. Today's class will be talking about the question based upon NEET pattern. Your NEET examination, the questions are asked that are multiple choice question that is actually single choice. That means one option will be the correct answer out of the given 4 options. You will see the level of difficulty in the NEET examination is quite moderate. It's not too easy, not too tough. You should be knowing the basic concepts and all the basic formulae in all the chapters. In today's chapter, that is gravitation, after learning all the concepts in gravitation, I believe that you'll be remembering each of the formulae. Let's go ahead and let's practice question based upon the concept of gravitation. The first question of the day, we have two spherical planets A and B have same mass but densities in the ratio 8:1. For these planets, the ratio of acceleration to gravity at the surface of A to its value at the surface of B is A 1:4, B 1:2, C 4:1, D 8:1. Let's check which of the option is given correct. I believe that you will be remembering what is the value of G. G is given as Gm by R square. So straightway we can write that Ga by Gb, that is action due to gravity at A to that of B, will be simply Rb by Ra whole square. So we need to find a relation between Rb and Ra. Given that both mass of A to mass of B is equal, mass of A is equal to mass of B, that's same. We know that mass is equal to density into volume, so we can write rho A into its volume 4 by 3 pi Ra whole cube is equal to rho B 4 by 3 pi Rb whole cube. This is what we can straightway show. This all terms will be cancelled out, we will be left with this one. We want Rb by Ra. Rb by Ra from here whole cube, Rb by Ra we do, we will be getting that as rho A by rho B. So Rb by Ra will be what? Quite obvious, Rb by Ra will be 8:1, and then you will be obtaining Rb by Ra is equal to rho A by rho B, and rho A by rho B is 8:1. So we will do 8:1 par 1 by 3. This will be equal to 2. Now you see here Ga by Gb is Rb by Ra whole square. So Ga by Gb is equal to Rb by Ra whole square. So this comes out to be 4:1, because Rb by Ra is actually, that is equal to 2. So this will be 2 square is to 1. So hence this is 4:1. The right answer that is matching with the right option, that is 4:1. Let us check which of the option is correct. Option number C, that is 4:1. So you need to take 4:1 as your right answer. Stepwise proceed, you will get the right answer. Let's go ahead with the next question of the class. Before that, let me get the board ready for you all. So this is a way that you have to actually proceed with such questions. Let's go ahead with the next question of the day. 2. If G is the extent due to gravity on the Earth's surface, just now we have did extent due to gravity, the gain in potential energy of the body at a height equal to 2 times the radius r of the Earth will be. Understand the question. G is the extent due to gravity at the Earth's surface. It's asking that on the Earth's surface, the gain in potential energy of the body at a height equal to 2 times the radius r of the Earth will be A mg2r, B mg3r, C 1 by 3 mgr, D 2 by 3 mgr. Let's see. First of all, we know that if this is Earth, if a body is placed here, let me show you. If a body is placed here, this is body A, this is Earth. Now you see here, we all know that the potential energy is given as minus G mm by r, where m is the mass of Earth, small m is the mass of this body. This is what we know the potential energy of the body. When it is raised to a height twice the radius of r, height equal to 2 times the radius r. That means from center, the height will be total 3r. So let me show you the final potential energy. That will be equal to minus Gmm divided by r plus 2r this comes out to be minus gmm by 3r. Do you have any idea which one is higher, which one is smaller? You see here in terms of magnitude, if we talk about the magnitude, since we have 3 here in the denominator, hence this will be smaller in magnitude. This will be smaller, and it is negative sign here, we have both negative sign. That means overall this will be higher. So the extra potential energy, the change in potential energy that you will be observing, that will be equal to potential energy final, the gain, so final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Let me say that this is initial potential energy when the body was at the surface of the earth. Next thing, let us subtract it, minus gmm by 3r minus, then this is minus gmm by r, so minus gmm by r, gm by r minus gm by 3r, you will be getting 2 by 3 gm by r. So let me show you here, this will be equal to 2 by 3 gmm by r. So as we proceeded, we got 2 by 3 gmm by r. So this is your right answer. So 2 by 3, and also it's given that mgr. Let us change the way the solution will look like. Gm by, what I will do, can we write this in this way? Gm by r square multiplied with r, we divided and multiplied with capital R. This term is g, it will turn out to be 2 by 3 mgr. So small m, small g, capital R. So the right answer that matches with the right option, that is D. So you need to mark option number D as the right answer. You will get full marks for this question. I believe that you have understood how to solve such kind of question. Next question of the day we have. Straight away let's proceed without taking more time. Next question of the class, third one. There are two bodies of masses 100,000 kg, that is equal to 1 lakh kg, 100,000 kg, and 1000 kg separated by distance of 1 meter. At what distance in meter from the smaller body the intensity of gravitational field will be 0? A 1 by 9, B 1 by 10, C 1 by 11, D 10 by 11. Now it's given that the masses are 1000 kg and 100,000 kg. And see, they may be having, it's not given that whether a point mass or not, we have to treat that these both are point masses, although they are of huge mass. M1, first mass 1000 kg. Then you have M2, the second mass, that is equal to 100,000 kg. Now it says that both are separated through a distance of 1 meter. This is the information that is provided. M1 1000, M2 100,000, and both are separated through 1 meter. At what distance in meter from the smaller body the intensity of gravitational field will be 0? From the smaller body, let's say at a distance of x, let's say this is point O, the gravitational field is 0. That means the effect of gravitational field due to both the bodies will be equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So I am going to write G m1 by x square is equal to G m2 divided by 1 minus x whole square. This is what you need to do, because if this is x, this will be 1 minus x. That's quite obvious. Cancelled out, not a problem. M1 1000, M2 as 100,000. So you will be getting 1000 multiplied with 1 minus x whole square is equal to M2, that is 100,000 multiplied with x square is what you will be getting. From here you see here 30 will be cancelled out. You will be obtaining 1 minus x square is equal to x square. 1 minus x square is equal to 100x square. From here you try to observe, you will be getting an equation 1 minus x and its whole square. Just a minute, it's 1 minus x square is equal to 100x square. From here if you take square root, you will be getting 1 minus x is equal to 10x, 10x plus x 11x, 11x equal to 1, x equal to 1 by 11. So I am writing here x equal to 1 by 11 meter, that's the right answer. So at a distance of x equal to 1 by 11 meter, the gravitational field will be 0. Option number C, that matches to the right response. This is how you have to proceed in the case of questions based upon gravitational field intensity. This is how you have to solve them. Straightway, let's switch to next question. Prior to that, just let me get the board ready for the next question. Next question of the class we have. Fourth one, if a body is released from a point at a height equal to n times the radius of the earth r, its velocity on reaching the surface of the earth is under root ngr by n plus 1, b under root 2 ngr upon n plus 1, c under root ngr upon 2n plus 1, d under root n plus 1 gr upon 2n. It's released from top. It says that n times the radius of earth. If released from a point at a height equals to n times the radius of earth, if I show you in the figure, how will it look like? This is the earth. This is the height from where it is released. This height is given as n times of radius of earth, and here we have the radius of earth as r. At both the points, the total energy will remain conserved. Potential energy here, potential energy and kinetic energy here will remain conserved. So total mechanical energy at the initial position should be equal to total mechanical energy at the final position. This is what we can actually write. So here at the topmost point you will be having potential energy only. Potential energy initial is equal to potential energy final plus kinetic energy final. I have not used kinetic energy for initial because the body will be at rest. It's released. Potential initial, that will be minus g mm divided by, you see here, minus g mm divided by its total height from the center of the earth, that will be nr plus r, that will be equal to n plus 1 r is equal to potential energy final at this point minus g mm divided by r plus kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, that will be equal to half mv square, and that is what we need to evaluate. Its velocity on reaching the surface of the earth is, we need to evaluate this. Let's write it as half mv square. V we need to actually evaluate. From here you can easily cancel out this m terms, and if you write half v square, you will be obtaining half v square is equal to, take this term here, gm divided by capital R minus gm divided by n plus 1 capital R. So gm by r 1 minus 1 upon n plus 1. I believe that this is what you will be getting. Easily you can solve it. You will be getting half v square is equal to gm by r square. Gm by r square is straightway, can you write that as we have done already, g into capital R, small g external to gravity into capital R, 1 minus n plus 1 minus 1 upon n plus 1, n plus 1 minus 1, you will get n divided by n plus 1. Next thing, half v square is equal to this, straightway v square is equal to 2rg n upon n plus 1. V square is equal to 2rg, you straightway see 2rg n upon n plus 1, n upon n plus 1, and straightway you can take its under root, you will be obtaining 2rg n upon n plus 1. You can proceed in this way, and let's check the required answer. You will be having, see here, it's given the 2nrg divided by n plus 1. 2nrg divided by n plus 1, this is what we are getting as the response. Option number B is the right answer. I believe that you have understood how to solve such kind of question. I want you all to see the solution once again. Check here the answer. Don't worry about, I have made here a bracket, it will be 2nrg divided by n plus 1. It's same thing. Don't worry about that. Next thing, before that, let me just clear the board. I believe that while practicing such question, it would be of great help to you all. And you are learning simultaneously. Next question of the class, the fifth one. The gravitational field due to a mass distribution is I equals to c upon x square in x direction. Here capital C is constant, taking the gravitational potential to be 0 at infinity. Potential at x is 2c by x. c by x, 2c by x square, c by 2x square. I believe that you should be remembering how to use, what is the relation between gravitational field and gravitational potential. It's given that the gravitational field intensity I equals to c upon x square. If you remember, I told you dV, small change in potential, is equal to minus I dx. So dV, so V will be equal to integration of dV from 0 to V is equal to minus integration of c upon x square dx, and you have it's 0 when the x value is infinity, and then you have a limiting value, upper limit. You have to put x. Go ahead, easily you can solve this. You will be getting minus c 1 upon x square integration, that is x power minus 2. So 1 upon minus 2 plus 1, you will be having minus 1. So minus 1 in the denominator, and this will come out to minus 2 plus 1 minus 1. So 1 upon x, this is what you will be obtaining, infinity to x. So finally the result will be c by x. You can check, the result will be equal to c by x. I believe that you can keep up the limits and you can easily solve it. That will be c by x. That is how you will be obtaining. Check. Let's take the option. The option number B matches with the right result. This is the gravitational potential at a point distance x. Now let's go ahead, and before that just let me clear the board. With practice of such question, I believe that you are learning and you are also enjoying this session. Next one, sixth one, two satellites A and B go around a planet P in circular orbits having radii 4r and r respectively. If the speed of satellite A is 3v, then the speed of satellite B is 12v, 6v, 4v by 3 or 3v by 2. Let us try to find out which option actually suits the right answer. Two satellites A and B go around a planet P. So let me show you, if this is the planet P, two satellites are revolving all around it. Two satellites are revolving all around it. It says that having radii 4 around the planet P in circular orbits having radii 4r and r. So let me show you that planet P is somewhere here. This radii is 4r, this radii is r. Now it's given that this is satellite 1, this is satellite 2. Let us mark this. Satellite 1, satellite 2 we have marked, having radii 4r and r respectively. So I will mark satellite 1 and 2 as this one. Just change this, that will be easy and convenient for our calculation. Next thing, let's go ahead. If the speed of satellite A is 3v, that is the radius, the satellite which has a radius 4r, its speed is 3v. So I am marking its speed as 3v, and satellite B speed as, we need to find out what its speed. So I am marking its speed as Vb. We need to find out this. Satellite A is 3v, the speed of satellite B is, we need to find out that. So what you do, take note of this diagram, and let me start at the other end of the board. Take note of this diagram. Okay, I believe that you would have taken down the diagram and you would have understood what to do. If you remember the velocity of a satellite around a planet, that is given by in this way, velocity of planet is equal to under root gm by small r I am using now, where m is the planet and this is velocity of satellite. Don't confuse it with velocity of planet. This is actually velocity of satellite revolving all around the planet. Now let's proceed. Now velocity of, we need to find out what is the velocity of satellite 2. First of all, let me show you what is the velocity of satellite 2. That will be equal to Vb, or if I write Vb by Va, Vb by Va, that will be equal to under root Gm by, you see here, can we write this as Rb, and this is equal to under root Gm by Ra, where symbols have their usual meaning. Rb means the radius of the planet B, satellite B. So from here it will come out to be under root Ra by Rb, and Ra by Rb, that means you have to take 4r here. This is actually satellite A. This is actually satellite B. So this is 4r by 1r, hence you will get 2. That is VB by VA equals to 2. So VB will come out to be 2 into VA. VB will come out to be 2 into VA, and VA is given as 3V. So 2 into 3V, so 6V is the speed. So let's go ahead. Let's see here, 6V is the speed. This is what we have obtained. So I believe that with this question you would have revised the velocity of satellite part. And this is actually orbital motion, planetary motion, that we have also learned in our regular class. Let's go with the next question of the class. A satellite moving around the Earth with speed v in a circular orbit of radius r. If the orbital radius is decreased by 1%, the speed of satellite will A increase by 1%, B increase by 0.5%, C decrease by 1%, D decrease by 0.5%. Let's see here, it says that its speed, with speed v it moves in circular orbit of radius r. If the orbital radius is decreased by 1%. So first of all, let's check the relation between v and r. Orbital speed we are talking about, v is equal to under root gm by r. Easily you can differentiate and you can find that delta v by v will be equal to minus 1 by 2 delta r by r. This you will obtain after differentiating. This is how we have also seen such kind of, you differentiate dv by dr, that I have written as delta v, change in v, and then again you will be finding a relation that will be somewhat like this. You can check on your own the differentiation part. Next thing you see here, it's given that delta r by r, it has reduced by half, sorry, decreased by 1, sorry, decreased by 1%. So we can write this as, in terms of percentage, this is minus 1 percentage, and this is delta v by v. So delta v by v will come out to be 1 by 2 percentage. It's positive. That means the velocity is going to increase by a value half percent. This is how you have to do such kind of question. That means it increases by 0.5%. Option number D is again the right answer. So it will not decrease, it will increase, but by 0.5%. This is the right answer for this question. Next one. All such questions will be good for your practice and recap of all the formulae that you have learned in this chapter. The ratio of the radii of the planets P1 and P2 is A. The radii are in the ratio A. The ratio of their extent due to gravity is B. The ratio of escape velocity from them will be. First of all, let me write down all the values that has been given. The ratio of radii of the planets P1 and P2. So RP1 divided by RP2 is A. And it's given that the ratio of extent due to gravity is B. The ratio of extent due to gravity. Second information, G on P1 divided by G on P2 is equal to B. This is what has been given. So I've written the complete information that has been provided. The ratio of escape velocity. So you must be remembering the formula for escape velocity, that is equal to under root 2 Rg. From them will be, so I need to find out escape velocity from P1 divided by escape velocity from P2. We know that escape velocity is under root 2 Rg. So 2 Rp1 for Gp1 under root 2 Rp2 Gp2. This term we can write into 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. It will come out to be Rp1 divided by Rp2, that is equal to A, and Gp1 by Gp2 equals to B. So this will be AB. So under root AB is the right answer. Let's check. Option number B matches clearly. So this is how you should know the formula. If you know the formula, you can go ahead and easily solve the question. The next question of the class we have, ninth one. VE and VP denotes the escape velocity from the Earth and another planet having twice the, another planet is another planet actually, another planet having twice the radius and the same mean density as the Earth. Then V equals to Vp, V equals to Vp by 2, C V equals to 2 Vp, D V equals to 2 Vp by 4. First of all, let me write down V and Vp denotes the escape velocity from the Earth and another planet. So you must be remembering VE relation is equal to VE equals to under root 2 Rg. This is what we know. So you can also write in this way, under root 2 R Gm by R square, or this can be written as under root 2 Gm by R. This is what we know. Now see, their masses will be different for Earth and planet. You see here, having twice the radius, it says that the radius is different, denotes the escape velocity from the Earth and another planet having twice the radius. So it's given that the radius of planet is twice the radius of Earth. So Rp equals to 2Re, that I have written. Twice the radius and the same mean density as the Earth. Density is same. So how we can find out the relation? The density is same. So density of Earth is equal to density of planet. So we can write mass of Earth divided by its volume 4 by 3 pi Re whole cube, 4 by 3 pi Re whole cube we can write, is equal to mass of planet 4 by 3 pi Rp whole cube. We can write in this way, not a problem. This term will be cancelled out. Mass of Earth divided by mass of planet, we will be observing that will come out to be mass of Earth divided by mass of planet, that will be straightway Re by Rp, Re by Rp whole cube. Not a problem, we can straightway write down that. Now you see here, escape velocity. Escape velocity on Earth is under root 2 Gm by R. This is what we have written. And escape velocity on planet is also in the same way, we can write it here. So escape velocity on Earth upon escape velocity on planet is under root 2 Gm, 2g mass of Earth divided by radius of Earth, 2g mass of planet divided by radius of planet. We can go ahead in this way. See, I have written capital R here, or you can use here Re, R that I have used, that you can actually change to capital R. That will be far better for our calculation purpose. So I'll be just changing the notation, that you can also change just for simplicity reasons, because everywhere we used capital R. Now you see here, easily we can find out the relation V by Vp. Me by MP is equal to Re whole cube by Rp. So it says that under root 2g will cancel out, Me by MP will come out to be Re by Rp whole cube. So you will be having Re by Rp whole cube, and here you have Rp that will move up, divide by Re, capital E and small e I have shown, both have the same meaning. Re by Rp whole cube, and here you have Rp, you will be getting Re by Rp whole square, and they are in under root. So finally it will come out to be Re by Rp, radius of Earth to radius of planet. Now see that it's given with what radius they have been related. Another planet having twice the radius. So the radius of planet is twice the radius of Earth. So you can write this as, finally this is equal to Re by Rp, this is 2 twice of Re, Re by twice of Re, that will come out to be 1 by 2. So VE by Vp, or we can write VE equals to Vp by 2. We can write in this way, VE equals to Vp by 2. Straightway we can show that. Let's check which option matches. VE equals to Vp by 2, option number B clearly matches with the right response. This is how you can solve such problems with quite ease if you know the basic formulae. Let's go ahead with the next question. We have solved so many. So let's go ahead with the 10th question of the class. A satellite is orbiting around the Earth The centripetal force on the satellite is capital F. The gravitational force of the earth on the satellite is also capital F. The net force on the satellite is, understand, satellite is pulled by earth with a force capital F. Satellite is also pulling the earth by capital F. That is by Newton's third law, we know that. Net force on satellite will not be 0. If you are thinking 0, it will not be 0. It will be only the force due to the earth. That is only capital F. Option number A is the right answer for this. We have done such good questions in this chapter. I believe that you would be finding it easy and interesting. So practice more questions after this exercise. If you want, you can revise once again this entire exercise. That will be quite fruitful for you all. Do see that if you see the question, first try to solve on your own. Then if you're not able to get it, then see the solution that I am actually giving you on the board. And then again see that your practice, with practice, you will gain perfection. Thank you everyone for joining me. I'll come with you all for more examples and more illustration in the next class. Thank you everyone.